Good morning. Welcome to my thought for the day. Thinking about the journey of Jesus down from the area of Galilee down to Jerusalem, knowing that the end of his life was drawing near. He was still a very young man. He was in his 30s, 33 or 34, 35, maybe 36, something like that, the prime of his life. But he knew that his life would be cut short, and he knew the way that it would be cut short. He starts this journey from Galilee, and as soon as he has made sure that his immediate followers understood who he was by taking them to Caesarea Philippi and asking them who people thought he was, and then who did they think he was, and they answered, "You are the Christ, you are the Messiah," at least Peter did. And immediately he started to tell them about what was going to happen in Jerusalem, that he was going to be betrayed, he was going to be handed over, rejected, killed, and after 3 days he would rise again. I'm looking at the Mark version of this in Mark chapter 8. And that must have been very shocking to them, and the response of Peter was, "No, Lord, don't let it happen to you." And Jesus rebuked Satan, who was prompting Peter to try and divert him from his purpose. But it goes straight on in Mark's Gospel, at Mark 8:34. He called the crowd with his disciples and said to them, if any want to become my followers, let them deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For those who want to save their life will lose it, and those who lose their life for my sake and for the sake of the gospel will save it. So here is Jesus. He has just said, I'm going to be betrayed, I'm going to die, I'm going to die on a cross, I'm going to suffer, and then I'm going to rise again 3 days later. Immediately after that, he says to everyone who's listening, if you want to follow me, you have to be prepared to do the same. See, I think in lots of ways we have Bibles that put a division between these passages and put another title on, and it seems like it's a new thought or a new time. Sometimes it is a new time, but in many Bibles there is a division between when Jesus talks to his disciples and when he says these things to everyone. And I wonder what the disciples thought. Jesus had just said he was going to die. Now he was saying, if you want to follow me, you've got to die too. Because Jesus was going to carry his cross. Carrying the cross was a phrase that referred to the Roman method of execution used in those days. You're going to carry if you're going to follow me. He doesn't actually say, well, this is not going to happen to you immediately. I'm talking figuratively. And many of us, been taught that these words about carrying your cross is about enduring any difficult circumstances that Lord may give you, things you don't want to do, doing things you don't really want to do for the sake of the Lord. We don't talk about the literal meaning of it. Jesus didn't say, of course, this isn't going to happen to you immediately. I'm talking figuratively. This is a parable. For all they knew, going to Jerusalem meant they would all be arrested. Was Jesus saying that? Be prepared. If you want to follow me, you are not guaranteed safety. You are not guaranteed a long, healthy life. You are not guaranteed lack of persecution. You are not guaranteed that people won't hate you as they've hated me. In fact, Jesus often said, people, if they hate you, if they've hated me first. Here he is saying, he's just said, I'm going to die and afterwards be raised. If you want to follow me, you have to follow me in this as well. To regard the gospel and the kingdom of heaven as more important than even your life. More important than even your life. For what will it profit you if you gain the whole world and forfeit your soul? what will you get? You'll be left with empty hands. And I was thinking, when we first start on our pilgrimage with Jesus and we get baptized, perhaps you're in a church and you don't experience total immersion baptism, but the picture in the New Testament is of an immersion in water. And in Colossians, Paul says, in Colossians 2:12, when you were buried with him in baptism, you were also raised with him through faith in the power of God who raised him from the dead. Baptism was regarded as a symbolic act, showing that as you went down into the water and under the water, it was as if you died to the old life. Everything old was dead. You went under the water, you were buried with him. And then you come up out of the water to new life. You turn your back on the old life and you live a new life. And when Jesus was saying, take up your cross, he was saying, you have to let go of everything. You have to give up everything to follow me. You think about his disciples. They gave up their way of life. Peter never went back to fishing except very occasionally he went fishing. He didn't go back to his old job. He was changed forever. We have to be prepared when we come to Jesus for the impact of the life of Jesus on us to mean that we have to let go of everything, that we become, as Paul says in Romans 12, a living sacrifice, someone who regards themselves as dead to their desires. A sacrifice is dead. A lamb that was sacrificed was slaughtered, was dead. Our old life is dead. I know it keeps popping its head up, but our old life is dead. And for the sake of the kingdom, we give everything up. We don't hold on to anything. We submit in every aspect of our life to Jesus. We are a living sacrifice. That's some thought for the day, isn't it? God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.